What do you say to people who doubt themselves because of their race or their colour or gender?
Wouldn't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Have confidence in yourself and your abilities, but know what you're good at and what you're not good at. It's really important to not be so confident that you can't assess what you are actually good at and what you're not good at. Okay. And play to your strengths.
How do you identify what a strength is next? How do you do that?
I mean, I think through your academic career and through your people around you will tell you what you're good at and what you're not necessarily good at, right? We hope, if they love you, if they care. They're telling you what you're good at and what you're not good at. And so I think that's the starting point. Also think about what you enjoy and what you're passionate about. If you can find something that you're good at and you're passionate about, go for it. But don't lack confidence because of your colour or your gender or the rest of it.
How did rejection make you who you are today?
I think with rejection, it kind of forced me to think more carefully about why was I rejected? What is it that I need to do differently? And gives you that sort of self-assessment, a self-awareness point. And I think that's important because it's important to be confident, but there's no one's, brilliant at everything all the time. It's not possible. So it's good to self-assess and say, where is it I need a little bit of support? What can I do to support myself there and get better at that weak area if it's an important area of what I do?
Got it. So would you say your rejection is because of obviously your rejection, especially at the early phases of your career, allowed you to be where you are today?
Yeah, I think it did in terms of the perseverance, in terms of continuing with that. So if you think that you are able and you've got the ability, then even if you get rejected a lot of times, and I did get rejected a lot of times, just keep pushing, keep going. If there's feedback, take on board the feedback, work with it if it's constructive and try and go back and do better. Nice.
Next question. What is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure, I think my biggest failure was in university. I picked a course, which was 100% coursework, and then I was arrogant. I think I was a little bit arrogant in that I thought, it's marketing, I can just do it overnight. I had this thing, one particular year, I was doing things really late, and I ended up getting a D, and I got a D because it was not the right format, and they were like, the content's great, but because it's not the right format, we're not going to give you any more points or a higher grade. And that kind of really, that kind of hit home, and I was like, oh, right, okay, now I need to buckle down and be serious about this and not be arrogant about it and trying to do it at the last minute and all the rest of it. So that kind of taught me a lesson there.
Good. And also, why do you think most people do not get the promotion despite all of their efforts?
I say it's down to the culture of the company.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
So there's going to be the overt culture, whatever the overt culture of that organisation is, and whether what you're doing is adding to or is in agreement with that culture. I think the second piece is the sort of more the culture that's not so overt, whereby sometimes you have to be in certain conversations. You probably need to think about, do you have a sponsor, do you have a mentor, do you have a coach? Are they getting your name in the right conversations? Because a lot of the time when it comes to promotion, it's because the conversation that's being had when you're not in the room is not favourable to you.
Right.
Or you're not fitting with the culture of the organisation.
And when would a person know that this is not working? So for example, if someone doesn't get a promotion 1 year, second year, third year, what alarm bell, like how do you kind of know, okay, maybe it's the organisation, it's not me? What triggers or what signs can someone look out for?
I think if you're consistently being told you're a high performer but you're not being progressed,
right.
I think you need to think about, well, what is it that's stopping that progress? And it may not necessarily be the culture off the bat. You could probably do something about it, but after a certain point, if you try to get a coach or a mentor or a sponsor and it's not working, I think you need to think about maybe it's a different company for you.
And what advice would you give to someone that wants to be like you in terms of your role as chief compliance officer for a large organization?
I'd say always keep learning, always take opportunities. I've taken some opportunities. People think, why would you do that? But actually, you know, it's created great experience, wider knowledge, which hopefully at some point is useful to you. So as an example, I was asked to go to Ireland for KPMG. Everyone was like, why are you going, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you know, it was a great experience. I was given much more responsibility than I was when I was in the UK. Taught me a lot. So overall, it kind of pushed me higher up the management chain than if I stayed where I was, doing what I was doing. So I think sometimes you just need to take an opportunity if it's presented to you and just see if you can learn from it, if you can stretch yourself, and then and largely it would probably been for your benefit, really.
Good. And the last one, how can our listeners connect with you online?
Well, you can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram name is dscott35. I've also got a YouTube channel for my book, so you can contact me there. Forward thinking.